Welcome, parents. I am Miss Van Deventer, and today I will be running through how assessment and reporting will look like for your children in Year 4 mathematics. Some people wonder what is so important about assessment and reporting. Think of assessment like a photo album. Each piece gives us a snapshot of your child's learning. Put together, those snapshots tell the story of their progress, which is what you will see in the report. Today, I'll be sharing how those snapshots are collected and used. This presentation will focus on how I, as a teacher, assess, provide feedback, and report on student learning. Why and how do I, as a teacher, assess learning? Learning is monitored through assessment, which involves the collection and evaluation of evidence of students' learning. Teachers are able to gather information about student achievement of syllabus outcomes and understanding of content. There are several different types of assessment used to assess students' learning, including informal, formal, diagnostic, formative, and summative assessments. Informal assessments assess student achievement through feedback, responses, comments, and by answering questions. This worksheet demonstrates students' ability to solve written problems using addition and subtraction number sentences. As this student is confident in addition and subtraction problems, the next lessons could focus on increasing complexity or introducing algorithms. Formal assessments are planned and structured, which includes tests and assessments. This work sample is a demonstration of a formal assessment on the topic of financial mathematics, linked with numbers, fractions, and decimals. The assessment would enable teachers to assign grades and understand the content knowledge of the students. This assessment would inform the teacher that financial mathematics is understood and that this student is ready to move on to new math content areas. This could include number, financial literacy, statistics, etc. Diagnostic assessments are pre-assessments that identify students' strengths and weaknesses. The work sample assesses the student's ability to create multiplication number patterns. The student has identified that multiples of 3 can get to the number 60. Next steps for the student could include recognizing several or higher factors of 60. In this example, the factor 10 would have required less work. Formative assessments provide ongoing feedback during the learning process and show gaps in knowledge. This work sample demonstrates the working out of patterns and number sequences. As the student understands the activity and represents numbers in written and pictorial form, more complex questions could be explored or more algebraic equations. And algebraic equations are equations that involve signs and letters to represent numbers. Summative assessments evaluate learning and measure achievement against set standards. These assessments are often in the form of exams and standardized tests and occur at the end of a learning period. In this work sample, students practice their multiplication facts by answering structured questions in the form of an assessment. The answers provided would determine students' grades and give knowledge of student understanding. This work sample demonstrates the students' knowledge of multiplication facts and that they have been able to meet the set standards. How will feedback be provided to students about their learning? Feedback can be provided in verbal and written forms and is designed to help students recognize their strengths and areas for development. Verbal feedback will be provided immediately to students, while written feedback on assessments may take longer depending on the teacher's workload. Next steps for learning would be discussed with the teacher. Timely feedback is specific and related to the learning intentions. Appropriate feedback focuses on correcting misunderstandings, provides information on how to improve, and provides opportunities for self-assessment and reflection. For this work sample, the question, is this number sentence true or false, is provided with written feedback. I really like how you use a different color pen to show your working and how it is presented clearly and neatly. Next time, try and make your working out clear. You made it clear how 2 was deducted from 35 to equal 33. Try to make the working out from 28 to 30 clear. Overall, this was an excellent effort. Well done. This work sample demonstrates feedback in written form. The student was acknowledged for the effort and constructive feedback was provided by identifying areas for improvement. Verbal feedback would be provided immediately. For example, the teacher would emphasize positive elements and identify errors in working out. Students would immediately be able to correct their work with assistance from the teacher. How will moderation ensure fairness and consistency when marking assessment? Moderation maintains the quality and integrity of student assessments. This is achieved through collaboration among markers, tutors, and assessors. Team members build a shared understanding of assessment criteria, standards, and evidence that distinguishes different grades. This ensures consistency, appropriateness, and fairness in assessment judgments. This image highlights the process of moderation. In moderating this work sample, number relationships and how addition and subtraction are inverse operations would be assessed. Teachers would collaborate and decide on a grade using the A to E grading scale while using a rubric. The A to E grading scale measures student achievement and determines what grade description best matches the standards that the student achieved. Elements to consider could include clear workings and providing answers in written sentences. How will I interpret student data? What types of data will be collected and how? Student data would be collected during and at the end of a term. Evidence include teacher observation, questioning, peer evaluation, self-assessment, and formal assessment activities. Formal assessment activities could include PAT testing, standardized testing, running records, screeners, NAPLAN, etc. Students' work samples could be gathered at various stages of an activity, understanding and skills, and analyzing students' responses against rubrics. Data will be used to help inform the next math lessons to address gaps in learning. This work sample demonstrates questions for the addition, subtraction, patterns, and graphs section for PAT testing. The grading system for PAT testing is shown on the right-hand side. The marks can be transferred to an A to E grade scale for reports and can help the teacher identify areas that would need consolidation in class. How will student learning be reported to parents? Reporting involves teachers providing summative information regarding students' progress. It provides feedback to students, parents and teachers regarding student performance over different time periods. The ATE grading scale is used for reporting levels of achievement. Reporting documentation can include assessment reports, progress reports, pedagogical document like photos or notes of student work, and report card comments, etc. Having accurate and reliable records of student achievement can help teachers support student learning, motivation, and feedback. Teachers are aware of what content needs to be solidified. Reporting also ensures accountability for schools and educational bodies. And the educational bodies in Australia are NESA and ACARA. This work sample is taken from Adventist Education Report Card samples. The summative grades are to be inserted for each section of mathematics. Instead of having an A to E grade scale, Adventist Education replaces E with the letter F. In Adventist Education, data is collected and displayed in the form of report cards. Many schools also have online systems like Sector, which collect this data and would be able to preserve the information better. Here is a glossary for the key terms I have discussed today. And the references. In conclusion, assessment and reporting contribute to your child's learning journey. My goal as a teacher is not only to track progress, but to nurture a love of learning and a sense of achievement. With your help, students can feel supported, challenged, and encouraged to reach their full potential. If you would like to find ways to further support your child at home or have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me by email. Thank you for listening.